Hi Edgewood, it's Bridget again with a quick tutorial, this time on Nearpod, which is a way to create engaging interactive slideshows for both in-person, remote, and even asynchronous. It works too because you can do a student-paced option, but I'm really going to cover like in-person and remote synchronous teaching. I know some of you have used Nearpod before. There's lots of great additions now that were not free originally that are now. And they've also made it easier to sync with Google. So in order to get Nearpod, you're going to open your Google Slides, and it is an add-on. You need to, if you've never gotten an add-on before, you want to click on Get Add-ons and you can search for it. Once you have it, you go ahead and go open Nearpod, which I have already. You are going to have to create a Nearpod account, but it just syncs with your Google, so no problem with that. Once you have Nearpod open, you can go ahead and actually add, you can open a new Google slide presentation, or you can add activities within an existing Google Slides. So the Nearpod options, they're great for direct instruction sort of check-ins using the Marzano resources, like pre-assessments, stuff like that. So for example, you can do a fill in the blank. So when you select a Nearpod activity, it'll show up with a screen like this. You can change the background, and I'll kind of show you what I mean with this in a moment. So you can see all the options here. The one thing is that you have to go back to this to actually edit one of your Nearpod slides, because Google Slides does not interact with that. So actually I'll just put one in here really quick, like a draw it. It does take some time. You can give instructions. Your favorite animal. Okay. You can save, you can add a background image, save. But what I mean is that once it's created, this is kind of what you get. Okay, so now on to the actually implementing the lesson. So when you're ready to implement Nearpod, you actually need to log into Nearpod. You can go to, you go to nearpod.com. This is my library, and I'm going to show you actually how to do it. So it says there's live participation with Zoom. It's really not that great right now. It kind of works the same as live participation, so just do that. No, so I'm going to start from scratch. And this is what the teacher screen looks like. So what you need to do is send your students the Nearpod link, so nearpod.com, and this code. If you're doing it, so you can do joinnearpod.com and this code, you can project this on your board, or you can send it through your Google or your Zoom chat. So what students do is they take this code and they put it in, this is my screen, but I'm just going to join it here. They put in that code, and then this is what pulls up their student screen, and they ask you to enter your name, join lesson. Okay, so here's Nearpod. So on the teacher end, this is what you see. How many students have added, and if they're active or not. If they go red, that means they're inactive, so they've clicked off your screen, they're not actually engaging activities. You can also skip around slides, maybe you need to go back or forward, someone needs to sign in, etc. You can do that. All right. You can add an activity on the fly. You can hide student names, lots of things. So what happens is I advance my slide. I see, so the first thing is to fill in the blank. The student sees this. I can't spell EW without we, and it says done. It says nice, and it kind of makes me hang out. And then it will update my score momentarily, or it should. There we go, 2 out of 2. Okay, and I can wait and see who's answered, who hasn't. If it's in Zoom, I can chat them like, hey, what are you doing? I advance the slide. This is asking students to go to a web page, so this is what they see. Okay, we'll open an extra browser window for them once they click on here. All right. You can, open-ended questions is one thing, and this is what students see. So I don't want this to take too long of a time. I'll let you kind of play around. What I would suggest though is if you do a lesson, that you log in as a student and project this with your Mac, and then with your iPad is how you actually advance the slides, which gives you a little freedom to kind of move around the room. And also it allows students to kind of, if you're sharing your screen on Zoom, like look at what you should be doing. This is your screen. And it's just another visual reinforcement when it asks for students who are participating in class, rather than just staring at their Chromebook the whole time. So let me know if you have any other questions, or if you're, using Nearpod or have, something you'd like to show me. I'd love to learn from our staff members as well. And I hope this tutorial helped you out.